Do you realize we could see a $1 million Bitcoin next year in 2025? What's going on, everyone? Let's talk about Bitcoin because, yeah, we're almost to 100K, just like we all said it would. But, oh, this is just the beginning. You have no idea. You have no idea. Listen, I have 3 very specific reasons. I got the receipts for why this cycle is, in fact, different. In fact, I was thinking about it today and something this stood out to me so clearly. It freaked me out a little bit, actually. Like, it actually freaked me out. I was like, oh no, I don't have enough Bitcoin. Here we go. Listen. Okay, number 1, nation state and corporation FOMO. Okay, this is lots of big money they all are afraid of missing out on Bitcoin, and they're starting to pile in. Game theory is playing out. I don't have to dive into that one too deep. We already know that's happening, but like, you do realize that's new, right? Like, we kind of just get used to it. Like, yeah, it's happening, and yeah, it's really bullish, but like, do you realize that hasn't been happening for all 15 years of Bitcoin's existence? Like, I had to rethink this through, that this is new for Bitcoin, okay? So it's bullish like crazy. So that's just reason number 1, but that's huge in and of itself. In fact, okay, I'm gonna go into reason 2. I almost jumped the gun. Reason number 2. This is the rise of new hodlers. People who are going to hold Bitcoin. Okay, now, this ties to that first. That's why I almost spilled the beans. We have people hopping into Bitcoin who do not need money. Like, it's the other way around. They need something to do with their money, which is why they're getting into Bitcoin. Like, we're talking like rich people, not a little rich, like mega rich people, okay? Like, these are people who buy houses so that they don't have money sitting in the bank. And they're figuring out, oh, we don't have to buy a house. That's kind of cumbersome. You have to take care of it. It takes a long time to sell it, get your money back. We can just buy some Bitcoin. People are figuring this out. Like, we're talking like generation old family businesses that are worth multi-millions. Yeah, they're figuring this out, okay? But then you've got the corporations, millions, billions of dollars. They're figuring this out. You've got the nation states. They're figuring this out. So what does that mean? It means they're not interested in selling. So when they buy the Bitcoin, it's gone forever. I mean, it's not gone, but like, it's falling into diamond hands. It's falling into the possession of people who don't want to sell. That's crazy bullish. Like, that's really bullish. I mean, you got the US talking about Bitcoin National Strategic Reserve. They're not trying to make a profit. That's not how this works. That's not, listen, the rich people, you may think, well, they're trying to make a profit. No. You don't understand. You don't sell Picasso to make a profit. You don't sell the Mona Lisa to make a profit. That is not how you play the game. And I'm not going to take a lot of time or any time in this video to explain that. Go and do your research and learn how the rich borrow money against their equity and using their assets as collateral rather than selling their assets and losing them forever, okay? And they're applying what they know about finance to Bitcoin. You watch. This is crazy bullish. But that's only reasons 1 and 2. And that's crazy bullish enough as it is. I mean, that's wild. I mean, you have nation states jumping in with corporations that are as big as countries jumping in. I mean, you literally have Microsoft, that company, you know, the Microsoft. Yeah, they're having a meeting. I did a video about this. If you didn't see this, they've got a meeting coming up where they're going to be deciding, well, they're going to, present the vote to their shareholders of whether or not they're going to invest in Bitcoin. You know who's going to speak at that meeting? Giga Chad, Bitcoin Jesus himself, Michael Saylor. He's going to be doing a 3-minute presentation at that meeting. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to actually go through with it, but the fact that they're considering it, one, it's drawing attention by other corporations and companies, and two, it means that eventually when they do, they'll go in harder than they would have, and that will happen sooner than otherwise. Sorry, I got a little carried away, but that's just number one. Number two, I said it's new hodlers, right? So there's a lot of Bitcoin that's gonna increase the supply shock, or this is gonna be a gamma squeeze like nothing we've ever seen. I don't think. Ugh, this is wild. But here's the third thing. Okay, this is interesting. This is the realization I had. Do you remember the ETFs when they launched? Do you remember that? It was pretty cool, right? But it wasn't just cool. Like, the price of Bitcoin went up dramatically, right? Do you remember? But it didn't just go up dramatically. It went past 63,000. Well, what was the main thing with that? Well, at the time, 63,000 was the all-time high. Do you know what I'm getting at with this? Bitcoin has been going up in price dramatically during the bull run of each of these cycles for two main reasons, because of two main factors. There's been a lot of factors, and there's a lot of people that chip in, but there's things that kind of shape market, and in this case, with Bitcoin, there's two huge factors that have always been a thing during the bull run. One is the halving, creating a supply shock. And two is the Federal Reserve exercising quantitative easing, printing more money. Okay, they're printing more money. And they increase the money supply. They add to the liquidity of the US dollar, which causes all of the other central banks in the world to follow suit, to also print more money. And it adds to the global liquidity, and we watch Bitcoin go boom, and then international FOMO kicks in, and it goes boom, it goes even higher, okay? But this time around, we saw the price spike before the halving and before the Federal Reserve did their main thing, before they announced rate cuts to, do their quantitative easing. So what made the price go up so high that it passed the all-time high? One word: demand. Think about that. It was simply pure raw demand. This is like economics 101, supply and demand. If you don't have enough supply to meet the demand, the price goes up. If you have too much supply, the price goes down. So if the price got pushed up by the arrival of the ETFs, it was simply because there was so much new demand. Now, it's not new numbers of people. It's about liquidity. It's about how much money is chasing after the Bitcoin, okay? I mean, number of people matters, but you understand what I'm saying. Well, those people are still buying Bitcoin, and there's more and more people buying the ETFs. That's not slowing anytime soon. It's only picking up, and it's on track to being the best ETF of all time. It's certainly been the best ETF launch, I think. I'm pretty sure it's been the best one. So, how much money is going to flow into Bitcoin because of this? And remember, with every big purchase of Bitcoin, it's a multiplier effect. It's not a one-to-one. I think I just heard that the multiplier effect is something like, it's wild. It's like 100. I don't know. I don't want to say random numbers. I just know that it was a wild multiplier. That you buy this much Bitcoin, and there's a multiplier effect to how it affects the market cap of Bitcoin. So you get the idea. This is a lot. We're dealing with 3 really big differences from the other Bitcoin cycles that. Here's my warning to you. Friends, will Bitcoin's price go up really, really high and then fall down? Yes. But I have a hunch that it might not fall quite as far as you think. Because things are different. So boy, oh boy, we're about to see 100K, and you know what's crazy? I think it's the only time you're ever going to see it. That's what I think. And I think we're going to keep going up, and it's going to hit the moon. It's going to touch the, it's going to get some of that moon dust, and then it's going to float back, and, but it's not going to float all the way back, and it's not even going to come close. Listen, I'm not a statistician. I'm not, I'm just listening to people, and what I'm hearing, the numbers keep going higher. Like I like to keep my thumb on the pulse of the main vibe of what everyone's saying, and you'll hear the super bears, or I don't really listen to the bears personally, because I'm a bit of a Bitcoin maxi, so I kind of I understand it's going up forever, as Michael Saylor said. So I pay more attention to people who are bullish, but I love hearing people who are conservative in their bullish estimates. And then there's the moderate trend that you'll hear a lot of different people say. And then you got the mega bulls. You got people who are like, it's going to be $10 million next year. You never know. Which it could. Listen, I don't know. But here's the thing. This is what I noticed. So I remember, we're at 99,000 now, right? But I remember when 100,000 it wasn't a pipe dream, but it was like a hope and a prayer. People were like, yeah, we could do that. We could see that happening. In fact, a lot of people thought it was going to happen last cycle. There a lot of people dealing with trauma from that. So, they're kind of afraid to say, maybe we'll get to 100K. I don't know. We're getting to 100K. But I remember even leading up to this cycle, still people saying it's good. There's a good chance, but maybe we don't know. Well, then that shifted. Now it's, we're definitely going to get 100K. In fact, we're going to do it by the end of this year. Okay? But even before we got to that point, let's just say, be it 6 months ago, it was there's a really good chance we'll get to 100K by the end of this year. And we could see a 250K Bitcoin next year. Okay? A couple months progressed. And then I'm hearing, we're definitely hitting 100K. And, we're almost definitely going to hit 250K. In fact, we could hit 500K next year. And I'm like, oh, okay. By the way, Samson Mao is over there 1 million Bitcoin people. It's going to 1 million. He's already been saying it, okay? But anyway, he was the mega bull. We didn't believe him. But a few months after that, then I'm hearing, oh my gosh, 500K. We might even hit 1 million. And I'm like, where is this coming from? But I know where it's coming from. It's coming from these. It's coming from these differences in this cycle. If you're not picking up on it, you're not bullish enough. So what are you still doing here? Okay, you better get out of here. Okay, maybe hit the like button. But you need to go out there, stack some sats, and get some Bitcoin, because you need to do it right now.